Good morning, guys, or good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is where you're listening. Welcome back to another episode of the Weekend Rundown. This is your host, Daniel.
And I'm your host, Drew. We really appreciate all our listeners that come back every week. We kind of had a little down dip last week, but we're going to make back up with it this week with a really good show. So we're going to jump right into our first segment. August 8th, past moments reported presently with Daniel. Go ahead.
All right. So August 8th, 1844, Brigham Young was chosen to lead the Mormon Church. Brigham Young becomes the leader of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints after founder Joseph Smith is murdered by an angry mob.
Whoa.
During his time as the church's leader, Young led 148 Mormon pioneers from Illinois to the Salt Lake Valley, where he founded Salt Lake City. He then established what is now known as Brigham Young University.
So I've never been to Brigham Young University, but I guess people appreciate that he started that.
They're the Cougars, I believe. BYU Cougars?
It's crazy you know that. That's awesome.
So 1883, August 8th, Emiliano Zapeta is born. And I'm learning about him with you right now.
Yeah, both of us are.
He is a Mexican revolutionary. Emiliano Zapeta Salazar was born in the Mexican state of Morelos to a peasant family. He got his start as a revolutionary at the age of 18 when he was arrested for protesting with other peasants in his village against a large estate that had taken over their lands.
So basically just trying to be like, this is ours, and don't take it back.
Yeah, he sounded like one of the very first activists in Mexico.
In Mexico. I mean, he's trying to just keep his people free.
Yeah. Zapata fought for land to be redistributed to peasants during and after the Mexican Revolution.
Okay, yeah, so he's super important.
But was shot to death by enemy soldiers in 1919 at the age of 39.
Bruh.
Brutal.
Yeah, I mean, he accomplished a lot in 39 years.
Yeah, he did good. He did good for his country.
And for his people?
1963, August 8th. England's Great Train Robbery. The Southwest Gang pulls off the largest train robbery in British history, stealing 2.6 million pounds sterling, the equivalent of over $70 million today.
Oh.
Bruce Reynolds, Gordon Goody, Ronald Edwards, and Charlie Wilson join forces with a dozen other criminals known as the South Coast Raiders to board the train, beat the conductor, and get away with the massive loot in what would be one of the biggest heists in history.
It's a lot of money, man.
A lot of money. Man, think all the... What year was it? 1963? They had some decent cars and stuff. You could have been balling back then.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely could have had fur coats and nice cars. And
I mean, it wasn't like hitting a robbery 50 years earlier and just getting like a bunch of Model Ts, right?
Yeah. Like, or like 100 years before, you're like, I'm gonna get some horses with this.
Exactly.
Some land.
I'm gonna get some great stallions.
Or like in the Pharaoh days, you're just like, you get some money and you're like, I gotta go to a whole nother country and buy a bunch of stuff I don't even understand. It's silk and they're camels, but this is great.
I'm just gonna build pyramids. All right, so 1974, August 8th, Richard Nixon resigned.
I kind of liked him as a president, even though I wasn't alive.
I wonder why he resigned.
We all know.
U.S. President Richard Nixon announces his intention to resign after his involvement in the Watergate scandal. Facing impeachment, Nixon stepped down from the presidency to start the process of healing in America. What a guy.
Pretty smart of him to do.
He famously flashed 2 victory peace signs while boarding a helicopter to leave the White House the following day like a gangster.
And you know what he said?
What did he say?
I am not a crook.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. He goes, I am not a crook, and did the peace sign thing.
His vice president, Gerald Ford, was sworn in and later pardoned Nixon for any crimes he may have committed while in office.
Of course. That's why he was like, hey, bro, I'm going to step down. And you were going to just pardon me, and you're going to become a president.
I feel like if you pardon the guy that you succeeded, you should immediately be freaking
impeached.
impeached or forced to resign.
Indicted or something. But no, here was the deal, because it was what year did this say it was? 84? 74?
1974.
So in 74, bro, he just walked right up to him. He's like, hey, here's the deal. The news going around that I'm going to be impeached. I was involved with that scandal. So I'm going to resign, and you are going to pardon me, and then you'll become the first president to, well, maybe not the first president, but one of the first presidents to get put into office, not by being voted for.
And then if I was him, I'd be like, I'm not going to pardon you, and you're going to resign anyway. Or you're about to face prosecution. Good luck.
And then he was probably like, we've been friends since we were 16.
And that's the silver lining.
And there it is.
And boom goes the dynamite. All right, so 2003, this has got to be the most recent, today in history we've ever done.
Past moments reported presently with Daniel that we've ever done.
Yes,
that's the new name.
It's a tongue twister.
It is, but it's just some stuff.
I'll get good at it one day. All right, but 2003, August 8th, serial killer Shelly Nadek was arrested. Serial killer and mom Shelly Nadek is arrested in Washington. Known as a selfless family, the Nadeks would always open their home to strangers. Unfortunately, those that stayed in the Nadek home rarely made it out.
Wait, in Washington?
Yes. Washington State, I believe.
That's I thought people over there were all nice and stuff.
Not everybody is nice everywhere.
I mean, I know that, but...
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm sure there's some people in Mexico that don't even like tacos, so we can't, just live these stereotypes.
Whoa, that's a different kind of thing, but okay.
No, it's not. It's the same. It's the exact same. Washington people are nice. I'm sure there's some assholes in Washington. Isn't that where, one of those horror movies, Jeepers Creepers, is supposed to be at?
I mean,
that guy wasn't very nice.
It's a movie, but maybe.
I think it was based on actual events. After suffering abuse themselves at the hands of their own mother, Nadek's daughters turned her into the police. They claimed that their mother had not only abused them, but tortured and murdered the guests that stayed in their home. Police searched the Nadek home and found copious evidence of her crimes. Shelly Nadek, along with her husband, were arrested. Shelly Nadek received 20 years in prison and was released on November 8th, 2022. I want to know how many people she killed.
So she probably killed a lot, but
It can't be that many.
Hold on 1 second. Wait, you don't think it was a lot of people that she killed?
No, I just looked it up. It's actually only 2.
Wow, only 2. Okay, so
yeah. And she was actually already released.
How long did she serve?
She got sentenced for 22 years, but ended up doing 18. She was charged with first-degree murder, but took a plea deal that resulted in lesser charges. So I believe it was first-degree manslaughter and second-degree murder.
Okay, so she basically did most of her time.
Yep, she's dubbed America's most evil mother.
More than Casey Anthony?
Oh. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
12 people thought she was innocent.
Yeah. Oh, out of how many? 20?
No.
How many jurors?
It was 12, right? Isn't it a jury of 12?
And 12 thought she was innocent?
I mean, everybody has to think you're innocent. Oh, no. You can have it split, right? And then you're innocent? No, because then it's just a hung jury. I thought she was acquitted, so it was all innocent. Everybody voted innocent. I'm not saying she was. I'm just saying I thought 12 out of 12 could think that she is.
I thought you were saying her original trial, not the
when she got acquitted. I'm saying when she murdered her kid, which she did, and we know she did.
It's brutal as hell.
So
brutal.
I know, but I mean, it's what happened.
It is what happened.
It's reality.
Yep.
People are brutal, and Casey Anthony's one of them. But we can't prove it. Just so we know, I'm not slandering or anything. I don't know.
I mean, I can't really prove anything, bro.
Yeah, I don't. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into how our weekends went. How was your weekend, Drew? Anything interesting happen? Any shows?
How was my weekend? What did I even do this weekend, bro? I don't think so. I just kind of got with my buddy and we did a cool new exercise where we read each other's jokes to each other, you know?
Oh, that's cool.
We write our jokes down and it was weird, but it was the parts that you're attached to and you think are funny. are like, I'm like trying to like give him advice. I'm like, no, deliver it like this. It's funnier. And then he does, and I'm like, I don't think it's funny still. like, all right, like
I tried to improve it, but
no, but like that's how
I made it worse.
That's how you envision it in your head is like, oh, he delivered it differently than me. But the funny thing is the parts that are the funniest that you write in those jokes, because like I don't ever just give him a 1 or 2 liner. It's like multiple jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like it's like when he's telling the jokes, some of them are really funny, and it's just the stuff that you're writing, and he's saying it, and it's funny no matter who says it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that was cool. We did that. We hung out. We literally, I think I was awake till like freaking 5:30 in the morning that day, just like writing.
I bet you I was there with you.
What do you mean?
What day was that? Friday? Saturday?
Oh, I don't even remember. I think Saturday.
I was up till 6 on Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday I fell asleep.
Yeah, I was so tired on Sunday. It was so brutal, but I got a lot of good stuff in, and yeah, man, I'm just trying to grind this out, bro, and get some practice in. You know, posted my first
dedicated.
I posted my first TikTok reel, right? Got my first one out there, and then I get a text from an ex-girlfriend, and she goes, "You're the next Matt Rife of comedy." So I think, "Oh, you saw my TikTok reel?" She goes, "No, you're just doing comedy, and you're handsome." And I'm like, "Thanks, I fucking think." Like,
right.
I'm not even sure.
Like
your
way of flirting.
Yeah, like because you're also in a different state. Like that's really weird.
Right. That's. Well, at least you're getting some play for your comedic ability.
I don't want play from her, and we all know that.
I mean, that means you're so funny, you pull girls because you're funny.
But it transcends. She never even heard one of my jokes. Like, she just assumed.
Oh, she didn't listen to...
That was the point, is that she just knew I was doing comedy, and I thought it was, like, concurrent with, like, the TikTok thing. So I was like, oh, you listen to it? She's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't even ever listen to any of it. And I was like, okay, thanks, I think. Like,
yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. Like, you
can't even click the button.
Right. Couldn't even click the reel is like 1:23 minutes. Like, come on.
Yeah, give me 23 at least. Give me 23 and see if you want the last minute. You know?
Right. A lot of people. So I looked at the algorithm, and I got like 33% retention or 35% retention, and that's like 5% or 6% higher than normal, but like that's not very good, I don't think.
It's better than normal. You got higher than a C. C+.
I'll take a C+ just for my first joke.
Yeah, why not?
That means it's not funny enough, though, to put into a special.
No, but it means it's funnier than the joke that I would put out.
Okay. I'll take that. Thank you, bro. You know what? Perspective. Thank you.
I cheers you, but I don't have a Red Bull, which I'm going to go to the fridge and grab a Red Bull real quick. So you have anything else to add for the weekend?
I will add some stuff while you're doing that.
Okay, don't want to take me a couple seconds.
Yeah, no. What did I do? I found out I had some problems with my plants. One of them's about to die. I had to give it some stuff to bring it back. That basil was like going a little crazy, and I didn't like repot it. So, other than that, I had an issue with my car insurance to where like there was no way for me to pay, and they put me on hold to send me to another person, and I had already been on the phone with these people for 22 minutes, and I have anxiety. And in the beginning, they suggested, oh, just start a new policy, and like this doesn't matter. But then they were forcing like this. So whenever they transferred me to someone else, I just hung up and went online and started a new policy, and it's just much
easier,
and I got a better deal.
Yeah, and like self-checkout.
And yeah, and because I got the deal too, I also went and I wrote a joke about my social anxiety and how like I have so much that like they're like, hey, we need you to come down to the office, and I'm like, it's okay. I don't even need that car. Like, I got a bike, and like, there's like fucking like these problems with the climate. So like, I'm just gonna help
push the Huffy.
Yeah, like it's fine. Like, I'm gonna sell it. Like, I'll get some money out of it. And like, my job ain't even that far away. Like, it's only 5 miles. It's not a big deal.
Could be 6.
Right. That's not the exact joke, but you get what I'm saying.
I get it. So
yeah, man. So how was your weekend?
Well, my weekend, I actually did the coolest thing that I've ever done. The coolest catch I've ever done in my life.
catch. What does that mean? Because you were I literally just rolled my eyes because you're like, oh, the coolest thing I ever done. I'm like, oh, you asked me about my weekend and then tell me you did the coolest thing you ever done in your life.
Well, what, would you want to go after me if I did the coolest thing I ever done in my life?
I mean, I guess no.
Anyway, so I went to Busch Gardens, and I went with my family. And usually I can't go on roller coasters because my kids are too small.
Right, that's good, right?
Yeah, but my wife's sister came along.
Oh, no.
She brought her kids. And so my wife had a little help, so I took one of her kids, her oldest kid.
Dash?
Yeah, I took him. And he wanted to go on the roller coaster Montu, which...
I've been on it, not a fan.
In case anybody was wondering, which I don't think you are, it's not by SheiKra. It's actually on the opposite side of the park. So if you're looking for it, don't go towards SheiKra.
I feel like there's a story where he went towards SheiKra, guys. What do you think?
That's not the story, but yeah, that did happen. But so when we found it, we go on this ride, and I'm thinking there's going to be cubbies. Well, I don't know if this is true. I heard cubbies are illegal now. I don't know
what
why
do
they
you mean,
would
like
be
the
illegal.
lockers?
Yeah. I don't know why like the cubby things would be illegal, or I don't know. That's what somebody said. I find it very highly unlikely.
That's so silly because then like how do people go on like rides when they're by themselves?
Yeah, but there was no cubbies or anything. So I get on this ride, I sit down, a lock thing over me, and that's when I see my nephew like adjust his shoe, but I thought he was taking it off, and I was like, oh man, I'm wearing sandals, like slides. I was just like, I got to kick these off, so I just kick them off to the side of the roller coaster.
No, who was there? Who was there to grab them?
Nobody was there. I just kicked them off to the side of the roller coaster.
It's the other side though, like
it's the side that I'm going to exit off of. You
know, you went on first?
No, but I mean, you get on one side, you get off the other whenever you come out. What do you mean?
You literally kicked it all the way across?
Yeah, it was like it wasn't that far.
And were people looking at you like, what the fuck?
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. But so then I started thinking, I'm like, oh man, I got my hat on.
It'll stay.
And then I'm like, oh man, I got my coasters on my hat.
Yeah, you need to put that in your shirt.
And I'm like, oh no, I got my earbud in.
Okay. Can I
spiraling out of control.
Can I just tell you how to solve this like real quick?
Let me hear it. You put it in your shirt. Okay, great. Yeah, that's a good idea. Would have probably worked, but you weren't there to tell me that.
Right. And then the earbud goes in the hand, and then you sit on the hat.
Not sitting on my hat.
What?
Not messing that bill up. It's worthless to me if the bill messes up. If the bill's crooked at all, it's worthless to me.
It wouldn't be crooked because you'd be sitting on it making it flatter.
Is my butt perfectly flat? Is the thing I'm sitting on perfectly flat? I'm sure it's contoured to my butt to make it more comfortable. That's like a computer chair. That's not...
No, I'm saying you put the bill behind you.
I don't like it.
All right, whatever.
Pineapples, I don't like it.
What'd you do with the hat?
So I left the hat on my head.
Okay.
I put the sunglasses on my face.
Guys, if you're liking and enjoying the episode and want us to make some more great content for you, you could go down to the bottom and click support the show. It's either like a one-time $3 charge, or you can give $3 every month, and that would really help. We could just keep making some good episodes for you. If you can't do that, we ask that you go and rate us in whichever platform that you listen to, and share us wherever you can. It means a lot to us, so we can keep making some great episodes for you guys, the listeners, the ones that we do it for the most. Thank you.
Kind of smart. Did you might have lost those.
And I left the it wasn't an AirPod.
The earbud.
Yeah, I left the earbud in my ear.
So we lost an earbud.
So we lost an earbud.
I already knew that was coming, dude. Why didn't you hold that thing in your hand?
But I didn't know
what the hell, dude?
that I lost it until well after the ride.
Well after
and I wasn't upset about it because I have a birthday next weekend, and Mom said she was going to get me a new.
I mean that's
like pair of earbuds because I only had one.
Oh, so you lost the other one, so now you have 0 for the next week.
Yeah, so now I'm rocking none, but that's okay. I can sit in silence. It doesn't bother me. But so I go on this ride, and right when it's about to take off, I remember I looked at Dash, and I was like, "Hey, this thing doesn't go upside down, does it? Because it's one of those ones where the track's above us, you know." So I'm like, "It doesn't go upside down, right?" And then Dash's response is, "A lot." So he said, "A lot." And I was like, "That was the worst answer ever, buddy."
But it was the truest
and
answer.
as soon as he said it, man, I swear, like a cue, the floor starts lowering down, and I just go.
I hate that part.
I just immediately thought of Russell Wilson, and I was like, "Let's ride."
Bro.
So I looked at Dash and said, "Let's ride, man." And so we start going, and I'm thinking it's a small roller coaster because you got to think, he's like 11 years old.
It's
This is
not a baby
small
roller. It's a big boy roller coaster, and
it's
he loves it.
Very, very, very fast roller coaster.
That when it came out, it was the fastest in the world, I think.
You know when I knew I was in trouble?
When you saw the parking lot.
No, when I started going up and it went click, 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 click. 4 minutes later, click, 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 click. I was like, "Oh man, dude, this is not that little of a roller coaster."
It was not 4 minutes, but it was definitely.
It was a
10
long
seconds.
time, dude.
Over 10 seconds on a roller coaster feels like 4 minutes because you're on it for like 78 seconds.
At first, I was chilling. I was like, not that big of a deal, and I was like, we're getting up here. And then I was getting like worried about my belongings. Like, I'm going to lose them. They're going to fall all the way down onto that really small Range Rover down there. And then I started getting a little worried about my safety because I was like, I'm going to fall onto that little Range Rover down there. And then we took off, and all I could think about was my hat and my coasters. And we go and we hit the first loop, and immediately I knew my sunglasses were staying on my head. They weren't coming off my face. Like, they were so firm on there. They were hugging the sides. I went over that loop, and they didn't even budge a tiny bit. So I was like, okay, we're good, dude.
They're glued.
AirPod's still in it, or earbuds still in at this point because I can still hear my music. So then we go and we hit another roundabout thing, and I was like, okay. I adjusted my glasses. Didn't have to, but like in my head I thought I did. So I adjusted them a little bit. Well, another loop comes up right after that. And that next loop, my hat just takes off, bro.
Forever.
And I even looked at Dash and I said, which I probably shouldn't have said to a little kid, but I said, "I just lost my fucking hat." And I'm still like upside down, and I just reach my arm up into the air and squeeze, and I get my hat.
No, you didn't.
I swear, dude. I get my hat in my hand, and it was off my head for at least 2 seconds.
No,
bro.
it felt like 2 seconds.
And it was a while, dude.
No,
it
dude.
must have been following like with us, like because because I'm saying, you know how. No, listen.
Okay.
You know how if you're in a car and you're not wearing a seatbelt, you're going as fast as that. So it was on my head. It was going as fast as me, and when it flipped off, it had to be like cranking with the roller coaster for a minute, bro. And I reached up and I snagged that thing, and when I pulled it in, I just looked at it. And my eyes got so wide, I looked over at Dash, and Dash's mouth is wide open. He goes, "Did you just catch that?" And I go, "Let's fucking go!"
Dropped a second F-bomb on the little boy.
Oh, dude, I was amped, bro.
How stoked was he?
I think I might have offered him a beer after that.
He was like, "Uncle Daniel's the coolest
I was
ever."
like, "Dude, do you want a beer?" And I was like, "No, I'm just kidding. I mean, unless you really want one."
Don't tell your parents.
I mean, this is something I need to celebrate.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I was hoping it was on like the camera.
Oh, like the moment.
Like, how epic would that be? If it was a live motion camera and it caught all 2 seconds that it was just riding with the roller coaster in the air.
I don't think they work like that. I don't think they're that cool.
That would have been cool, though.
It would have been real cool.
I'm sure somebody in that park saw that and was like, "That guy's a legend."
There was other people in the seats with you. No one else saw it?
The girl to my right was like, literally thought she was going to die as soon as the floor gave out.
That would have been me.
And then it was just kind of like built in where, like, I mean, you couldn't look behind you and in front of you. I mean, I guess maybe they could have saw in front of me.
I mean, yeah. I don't.
It was pretty
know
cool.
If nobody saw you, then
Yeah,
that sucks.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't need anybody to see it. It happened. My nephew saw it. Well, he didn't really see it,
But he knew you
but
caught
he
it.
knew it was happening.
He knew it was gone, and then more than a second later, you caught it.
Yep. 2 seconds, bro. I know you want to shortchange me on this. It was flying.
I'll give you
the
1 point.
coaster.
I'll give you 1.6.
Bro, it's scientific as fuck.
It is, but also no.
Kind of.
What
G-force. It has to do with G-force.
Yes, but what I'm saying is also true where things feel longer than they are whenever things are short. You know, like the whole coaster feels long, but it's only like 56 or 72 seconds or something?
I mean, I would have to time how long it takes me to say, I just lost my fucking hat, and then reach up.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
Because that's what I said. And I said it calm. I said it like really angry, like, you made me go on this roller coaster, child. You owe me a hat.
I know you get money for your birthday.
You have a freaking phone, bro. I didn't have a phone at your age.
They didn't give phones to my kid or whenever I was 11.
I was like 16 when I got my first phone, and it shut off after a month because
no one paid the bill.
Exactly, no one paid the bill, and I wasn't allowed to have a job at 16 because I was grounded. But that's a story for another time.
Not this podcast, a different podcast. Join in for Daniel's second podcast where he talks about being grounded from almost half of his adolescent life.
It's not an exaggeration.
No, but it's not a real podcast either. So, or it could be.
No,
it could be.
Don't look for it.
I mean, yeah.
It would be a very boring podcast.
Yeah, he'd be like, my dad let me go out whenever I said I was playing a sport, so I lied about playing sports, but I played a lot of sports.
I was going to say I lied about playing sports. I played so many sports.
But then he'd also be like, we're going to go play this game at this place, and it'd be like, not really that game that had to do with sports.
Well, we'd say we were going to go play Manhunt at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he'd be drunk, so he'd be like, yeah, go ahead.
Do whatever.
And then we just go at Jeff's house every night, the same kid.
F you, kid.
We even got like shaving cream and we ride down on his boat. His dad was probably like, who did you piss off, dude?
Everyone. Do you want to jump into our articles, though?
Yeah.
All right, man. First? Yeah, I got the firstie. This one's kind of weird, but also kind of funny. It says, I like doing Florida news. Florida Aquarium blames manatee's death on high-intensity sex with another male manatee.
Damn.
Hugh the manatee died from a 14.5 centimeter rip in his colon caused by a sexual encounter with another male manatee who is also his brother.
Oh my goodness.
I guess manatees are about that life.
Like, that's murder. I'm sorry, that's rape and that's murder.
If you're a people, yes. It says a Florida Aquarium is attributing the death to the high-intensity sex with his brother. And
the high-intensity sex.
And Hugh, a manatee at the Moat Marine Laboratory and Aquarium in Sarasota, died in April.
It's in Sarasota?
Yeah, Moat Marine died in April at the age of 38. Oh, he's older than me. Nice. The staff noted he began exhibiting a change in behavior on April 29th, and the staff began monitoring him closely. He then became unresponsive and ultimately was determined to have died.
Can we blame this on the staff? Was there a female in there? Were they sexually frustrated?
I'm not sure. I'm going to keep reading more of this. It says, earlier this week, necropsy report of Hugh's last day revealed that he died from the rip and the sexual encounter from the other male, who was also his brother. Then around 5:15 was the other. He did it again, I guess.
Oh my goodness! You didn't separate him after that? What the hell?
When he did
Kept him in general pop.
When he did it the second time, when he swam away, the witnesses noticed that Hugh was just at the bottom of the pool, like laying there. It said they posted on Facebook. The aquarium addressed Hugh's death, saying that the manatee's engagement in natural yet increased mating behavior observed and documented in manatees, both in managed care and in the wild.
Does it say what happened to the brother?
Although the aquarium said that April incident with Buffett and Hugh was the first time such heightened mating behavior was witnessed between the two manatees, it is said that in previous years, the two annually exhibited approximately 2 months of seasonal behavior change, including but not limited to an increased sexual behavior. So, like, his increased sexual behavior this time around just resulted in him, like, killing his bro.
That's fucked up. That's crazy. Lost a lot of respect for manatees today.
Yeah, so they both did it, though.
Yeah. It just kind of reminds me of dolphins.
I mean, kind of.
Dolphins rape.
But they were just, like, letting it happen. There wasn't rape as so much as they were both letting it happen.
I mean...
They both did it. They're both cool.
Nobody can be in their mind, you know.
No.
I'm sure after he was already injured, he was probably like, yo, give me a break, bro.
What it was, probably he didn't let it after that. But what they were saying is they both kind of went back and forth at it, like super, like weird.
Yeah, for years. Well, this year he didn't want to participate.
I think this year he just went a little too hardcore.
Yeah.
A little too high intensity.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about those weird manatees.
Cult manatees.
Yeah. You got any articles?
Yeah, I got 2 articles, and we'll start right here with this one because I got it pulled up. It is... Oh, I lost it. I got it back. A company accidentally pays employee 367 times his salary, and he refuses to pay the money back.
I would totally do the same thing if I could.
A Hungarian man temporarily became a rich man.
Temporarily, it says.
I hate this article already. After the company he worked for accidentally paid him 367 times more than he had actually earned.
I would have bought a house immediately.
And when the employer asked for the money back, he refused to pay.
I'll just work for you for the next 30 years.
The unnamed man, who hails from Hungary's Somogy County, briefly worked for a company in Kaposvár, but his employment was terminated during the trial period. For his short stint at the company, he stood to earn 92,549 forints, which amounted to 238 euros, $260. But in a feat of incredible generosity, his employer wired him 367 times that amount.
Nice.
Actually, it was just a huge mistake caused by the fact that the man had provided an Austrian bank account, so the salary had to be paid in local currency, which is euros. Only instead of converting the forints to euros, they sent the lucky man 92,549 euros instead.
Nice.
Soon after realizing the mistake, the Hungarian company contacted its former employee and asked him to return the money that had been accidentally wired to his bank account. However, the man said that he did not have access to the Austrian bank account anymore, so he couldn't wire them the money back.
Nice save, bro. Nice save.
Only that obviously wasn't the end of it. And a subsequent police investigation found that the man had extracted some 15,500 euros in cash from his Austrian account through an ATM in southern Hungary and transferred it to another bank account. With the help of the Kaposvár District Prosecutor's Office, the company managed to freeze the Austrian bank account of the accused and arranged for the money to be transferred back to his own bank account. According to HVG-HU, it was recovered around 72,000 euros so far, but hopes to eventually receive the full amount wired to its former employee. That's fucked.
So
that's their fault.
How much money did he pay back?
He's paid back 72,000 euros so far.
He still owes 20 something?
Yeah, he says 20. Yeah, 20,000.
He bought a lot of stuff.
He has 20,549.
That's how much he probably spent.
And he was only supposed to get 238.
Dude, he probably bought so much stuff immediately. And while he's like, I'm not paying this back, and they took him to court, he was like buying. I got a dope couch and a dope TV.
Right. It's all gone. You can't prove shit.
You know what this reminds me of? Like one time when I had a different bank, It was like Grow. No, it was it was not Grow Financial. It was like Bank of America or something. It was some bank. I don't remember which bank I had. Anyways, I went and they gave me an extra $40 out of my like money was stuck together from the ATM. I went to go get $60 and I counted it out when I got to the grocery store or wherever I was going. I was like, $100? What?
What?
It was the coolest moment of my
Did you get whooped?
No, I went and I asked my buddy's wife about it because she like worked at a bank and she was like a head teller. She's like, usually the banks, they like, will figure that out and then charge you. And I'm like, okay, cool, but what if they don't figure out it's me? She's like, well, then I guess they never know. And I'm like, cool.
It's dope.
And they never knew.
Free $40.
Yeah, it's like when you're walking down the street and they just give it to you for free, except the only difference is I was going there to get some money and they're just like, do you just want some icing on this cake? Like, I know there's already icing, but do you also want some cherries and some like whipped cream?
I've never just gotten free money in my account. That'd be cool. I feel like I wouldn't want to give it back either.
It wasn't in my account. It was like just delivered to me out of the ATM, but exactly what you said, like the same as just deposit in your account.
I feel like anytime somebody's going against the bank, you got to root for that person.
Yeah, because banks are like they're not the evil, but like they're such a big corporation that they represent evil.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, no matter how unlikable the person is, you have to root for them over a bank.
Because bank's more unlikable. Because anytime you're like, oh, I need to pay my phone bill. And they're like, oh, well, your phone bill was $7 more than what you had in your account. So it's going to cost you $42 more that you don't have.
Well, and the worst part about them is if you use your card to buy something, the bank gets 1.5% of that transaction. They take that money and buy something. Whoever you bought something from uses that money to buy something. The bank gets 1.5% of that transaction.
They just get all the monies.
And then after 50 transactions, the bank owns all the fucking money. You use cash and the bank doesn't get any.
That's why the bank promotes people using cards.
You use cash, that $50 is still $50 at the end of the day.
Every single time.
Well, really, it's not $50 because is any of it backed? We don't know. But today, it's worth $50.
And we would gladly like for you to go down to the bottom of our page on Buzzsprout and click that subscribe button and get that little $3 thing, and then we will totally shout out your name. Thank you, and appreciate that. You know, you help us pay for this content we give you guys.
Nice plug spot. I like it.
I mean, I felt like the moment was there.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you got anything else to say about that? Because that's fucking nuts. But other than me getting the free money from the ATM, I haven't really found a lot of money other than like in the laundry, you know?
I found that money at...
I remember that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Super dope. That was like $200 or something.
Yeah, just in a chair at Rooms to Go.
Yeah, we probably should have gave it to the people at Rooms to Go, but they would have just kept it.
That's what our parents said.
Well, then maybe that's why we're fucked up. I remember we went to Outback Steakhouse, and we were not a family that went to Outback Steakhouse.
No, and then we went to Smitty's.
If you don't know, that's just like a local pub that had good Reubens. I don't think that's really a good
it's like a hole-in-the-wall pub.
Yeah, where they kicked us out when our parents weren't there, fuckers.
All right, yeah, so that's the end of that article. I think it's back to you. Pong here.
I got two. You want one about a jail dude, or do you want one about a guy surviving a freak accident?
Give me the jail dude, because then I'm going to do a freak accident that I don't know if the person survives, but I hope so.
Dang, okay. So this article says, escaped inmate arrested wearing a Rolex and moving into a $1.5 million coastal Florida home.
I don't know why, but that title just reminds me of that movie, Spring Breakers.
Yeah, because they went fucking nuts in that movie, but it says that Alan
Look at
Todd...
my shit.
Yeah? You like that one?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Alan Todd May, who was 58, lived a high life as Jacob Turner. After
He's 58?
58 years old. But he escaped Colorado prison and became Jacob Turner afterwards. So it says he was a career fraudster and escaped from federal prison in Inglewood, Colorado in 2018. He was arrested in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
This just recently?
Yeah.
So he made it out for 5 years. He did well.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't know how they caught, I guess because he was buying a nice home, you know?
Yeah, they're going to want tax information, and they're going to be like, hey, this guy doesn't even have a social security number.
The chief deputy U.S. Marshal for Colorado said, we're not even sure how he was 100% living like that. Like he's so good at what he does. We're not sure like how he was able to do that. It said the career fraudster who escaped from
low places.
I guess so. Who escaped from federal prison in Colorado nearly 5 years ago was captured this week while moving into a $1.5 million home.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was able to escape and then move up the ladder that much in 5 years. Federal marshals arrested him at the house in Fort Lauderdale on Tuesday while movers were unloading a U-Haul truck. Damn, bro, he was right there.
That's crazy. 5 years ago, do you know where I was 5 years ago? Doing the same thing I'm doing right now, other than the podcast, but I was literally working the same job.
Doing the same stuff.
Actually, I only had one kid at the time.
See, stuff was different.
I mean, things changed, but I didn't fucking get $1.5 million.
Well, he probably didn't.
I got 6
He probably
Bitcoins.
didn't have that much, but he probably was like frauding people into thinking he had a lot of money. But literally, he was arrested. When he was arrested, he was wearing that Rolex. He was driving a Mercedes.
Bro, but how do you do that? How do you fraud somebody into giving you physical items without actually receiving money? Just IOUs, big ass IOUs, written with huge pencils and big pieces of paper.
Damn, bro. So he got caught because he went to some fundraiser, like some posh fundraiser. Someone took a picture of him in a pink shirt with a pink blazer and a pink tinted glasses and published it on a website of the Palm Daily News. And somebody was just going through news because that's what they do in the CIA and shit. And they're like, hey, this our bro. When you're running away from the cops, don't ever flash, man. You escape prison, don't flash.
No.
You're wearing pink, even if you're in Florida, don't wear pink. Don't ever look better than anyone else. What was that guy's problem? Yeah, man, it was literally an anonymous tipster who led him to it. The fugitive wasn't exactly keeping a low profile. Just like I said, he was living a very lavish lifestyle where he flaunted his wealth in high society down in South Florida.
I'm sorry. I just want to plug this in real quick because I've been meaning to tell you this. And you just gave me an opportunity when you said an anonymous tipster. But I was at Walgreens the other day. And I saw a car crash into another car.
Awesome.
And then I saw that car drive away.
Oh, not awesome.
And I took off out of the parking lot and got behind them.
Did you?
I got took a picture of their license plate.
Did you go back and tell the people?
I drove back in and I parked next to the car. And I'm looking at the car and there's like not really any damage to it. There's a little. I mean, it's definitely scratched and like a small little crack
in the back. Did you give it to him anyways?
So I'm sitting there. And I'm like, man, I'd be pissed if somebody hit my car like that. And I'm also, what if it's a rental, bro? This is Florida. If it's a rental, just a little paint scratch like that, you're going to get charged for painting the entire car. It's going to be a $15,000 fucking
Right.
Because, I mean, you could tell, like, it was damaged. It wasn't.
So did you try to make small talk to see how the person felt?
Well, so, no, I sat there and I waited for them to come out. And then she came out and she would not make eye contact with me. She would not talk to me. Like, she's loading her groceries in the car, and I am like, at first I was leaning out my window. I was like, ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Nope, won't look at me. I open up my door. I stand on, like, my side step on my truck, and I'm, like, leaning over her car, and I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. I'm, like, waving my phone in the air, ma'am. And she's not looking. I'm like, I did not just chase those people down for nothing. So I get out of the car. I walk around, and when I walk around, she, like, has to look at me. And I'm like, ma'am, I just watched somebody hit your car, and they just drove away. And she was like, oh, dear. And she walked around, she looked, and could immediately see it. And she was like, oh, yeah, somebody did hit me. And I was like, yeah, well, I got their license plate if you want it. And she was like, oh, yeah. She goes, I'm going to get them for hit and run. She goes, it's the principle of it. And I was like, when she said that, I was like, damn, man, I kind of feel bad now. But at the same time, it was like an old couple, dude.
It is the principle of it, though, too.
And that is the principle. Like, I mean, when I saw them turning out, I could tell that the depth was way off, and I was like, they're going to hit that car. And they just kept going and hit the car. And I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but maybe the lady can't see right, and maybe the lady that's driving that car is too old to be driving right now.
Well, here's the deal. If you can't be driving because you're drunk or too old or some reason, then you need to know. And
Exactly. So, I mean, in the end of the day, I don't think I feel bad about it, but it's something that I just want to tell you because I just thought that it was something strange.
Because you are an anonymous tipster.
I was an anonymous tipster.
This literally said that, though, this guy, he went into a 20-year prison sentence for a mail fraud and earned over $7 million in a Ponzi scheme, like the pyramid scheme.
So he probably stashed some cash.
It also said while in federal custody, he managed to steal another $700,000 by filing fraudulent documents and pilfering unclaimed oil and gas royalties that were owed to several companies.
Nice.
Yeah. By then, he had been loose for 3.5 years, and the trail to catch him had long since gone cold.
Sounds like a white-collar mastermind.
He's only one of the one of dozens of people who escaped from federal prisons in the U.S. over the last few years. He looks like a regular-ass dude, but that's who steals the most, I guess.
Yeah, no, you want to look like a regular dude, but he probably didn't look like a regular dude in that picture.
This says he does look like a regular dude in the picture.
In the pink one?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The one where you were saying where he was wearing all pink?
I didn't get to see that picture.
Oh.
They didn't show. It just said that, like, some prisons are so lax that prisoners have literally just gotten different clothes and walked out.
That's because there's way too many prisoners and way too many prisons.
Right.
There's like, just let him go. Just let him go. No.
They followed him around for like a week or two, it says.
Like, did he kill anybody? No. Let him go.
I mean, honestly, just make him pay money back. Don't put him in prison so that he like owes money or like that we're paying money for him, you know?
Exactly. How's he ever going to make that money to reimburse it?
He had a LinkedIn page that said Jacob Turner, which was his alias, certified mediator in Palm Beach.
What is it? Certified mediator?
Yeah, he did complete a class on mediation while he was in prison.
Ooh.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
I mean, if you tell me your certification is from freaking Colorado State Penitentiary, I'm going to be like, I think I'm going to go with the other guy.
But he probably didn't say that. He probably didn't say where it was from. He probably
would ask.
Probably had him on LinkedIn, and they probably were like, "Oh, we'll give it to you." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll bring it up. Like, whenever I come to the interview." And then it said he was so good at fooling people and getting people to like him through his charisma that like he probably just would have went in there and been like,
"I'm not buying it, bro."
Then guess what? He went to the next place.
Exactly. That's what he would have to do. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, well, someone would.
I don't trust him.
A lot of like high up people that hire people are like, I have a good feeling about this person. That's when they hire people, you know, because they have good feelings about him.
I barely trust myself.
And he looks like a regular ass white Christian dude.
Definitely don't trust him.
I mean, yeah, I guess I get it, but I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say about that besides that the guy was a G and made out of prison.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the white collar criminals I kind of root for. Like if you're going against the government, banks, anything like that, it's hard to root against you.
Right, because it's kind of almost like this guy's like the system that we're in, none of us want it, you know?
Yeah.
Like we were all just born. No one said, "Oh, I want to make a lot of money." We make a lot of money because we're forced to make money.
Yeah, it'd be cool if I could just float around on a raft eating fruit all day.
And yeah, right. Or you had your own island where you got to like everything was like a video game where it's like build it up, collect sand, get more grass, do.
Build it up.
You don't get to do that shit.
Fucking Sims.
It's more like go to work, hate your job for 99% of people.
And you can't afford land unless you buy it in some place where nobody wants to live.
Because now all of the big corporations are buying up all the land so that we can't have it. And you know what that's becoming? It's like the old school days whenever like kings owned land, but now just corporations do instead. That should be illegal, bro. That should technically be illegal.
Yeah. It's getting out of hand in Florida. I know that for sure.
More than Florida, just America.
Yeah.
If companies own fucking more than fucking whatever percentage of that, like eventually they'll just own the world, which you can't do.
There should be some sort of law where a company can only own a percentage of a city. A very small percentage of a city.
Yeah, it shouldn't be allowed to own, like that one guy that's buying like up all of Anna Maria Island and owns like 40% of it. He shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. You should be able to own like
1.6 because
Exactly.
come on.
Because if you own 1.6 of every city in America, you own 1.6 of America, and that's huge.
And that's too much.
If everybody owns 1.6 of America, I mean, less than 100 people can do that. Less than 75 people can do that.
Exactly.
You know, if everybody owned 1.6, there would be less than 70 owners of America. There would be about 70 owners of America.
So it should probably be even a number like a tenth of that.
Yeah, it should be very, very, very minimal.
Yeah, even lower.
So,
yeah, man, I don't know. But I don't really have anything else about that. So,
no?
yeah,
so
you can go to your next one if you want.
All right, this one has a very exciting title.
I already like it. You're excited, I'm excited.
Boy allows himself to be bitten by a black widow to become Spider-Man.
Already don't like it. Already taking him back.
An 8-year-old Bolivian boy ended up in the hospital after allowing himself to be bitten by a dangerous black widow spider in order to become like his favorite superhero, Spider-Man.
I mean, 8 years old in Bolivia. I kind of understand.
The incident occurred in the municipality of Vicholoma,
Nice.
near the city of Oruro
Double nice.
in central Bolivia. The 8-year-old child, whose name has not been revealed by the media,
Because his name is Miles Morales.
was reportedly playing near a river close to his house when he turned a big rock and discovered a black widow spider.
He said, yes, sir.
Without realizing the consequences of being bitten by a highly poisonous spider, he grabbed the arachnid and put it on the back of his hand in the hopes of being bitten. He got his wish and then headed home, where he began experiencing symptoms like body aches and intense muscle spasms. Initially, the boy didn't say anything to his mother about the spider bite.
Do you think they like hallucinate?
I don't know. It doesn't say it did. But after about 3 hours of agony, he said that he had been bitten by a colorful spider.
It's not really colorful, but I mean, I guess.
Black and red.
Dang, man.
The concerned mother took the child to a health center in a neighboring town, but he was subsequently referred to the Hospital General
Oh my
San
goodness.
Juan de Dios in the city of Oruro as a medical emergency. After hearing about the spider bite, pediatricians there contacted Ernesto Vasquez, head of the Zoonotic Diseases Program of the Departmental Health Service of Oruro, who helped establish what kind of a spider had bitten the boy. The child, without considering the risks, picked it up and placed it on the back of his palm where the arachnid made the bite. We are extremely concerned because the analysis and questions asked to the child when he had already recovered indicate that he picked up the arachnid with a simple purpose, that he wanted to become Spider-Man.
Of course he did, because who doesn't want to become Spider-Man? Yeah, everybody gets one.
The boy's mother confirmed that he was a big Spider-Man fan, but she had no idea he could do something so dangerous to actually become like the Marvel superhero.
She never told him not to.
Luckily, after identifying the spider species, doctors administered the proper antivenom, and the boy's condition became stable only 30 minutes later. That shit works so quick.
That's good, because he was probably going to die.
Yeah, it's like Narcan.
Yeah, man. Super fast, like a EpiPen or some shit.
Yeah. These black spiders with red backs are black widows. They do not cause anyone to become Spider-Man. On the contrary, they put lives at risk. Most people who get bitten by widow spiders do not suffer any serious complications, but in rare cases, the bites of some widow species have resulted in fatalities caused by the severe disruption of nerve signals in the body. Young children, the elderly, and people with underlying health problems are most susceptible to serious widow bite complications. Interestingly, a very similar case was recorded in 2020 when 3 boys from the Bolivian town of Chayanta provoked a black widow spider to bite them for the exact purpose, to become real-life Spider-Man.
Everybody just gets
Man,
black widows. They're
Bolivia
not very smart.
is loving the Spider-Mans, though, bro.
I mean, parents there, I guess, probably have different culture. They're just like, yeah, just watch this. Who cares?
I am telling you.
I guess
There's black widows everywhere, and they always choose black widows.
Don't raise your kid in Bolivia. Is what
Yeah,
I'm finding out.
why isn't it a wolf spider or something?
Maybe
They're
they
gonna
don't
take
have
black
them there.
widows?
Don't have wolf spiders.
Exclusively black widows?
Probably. That's probably what they have a lot of.
Luckily, they're not doing it like brown recluses.
Mine's not as cool as that.
No.
My next one's not as fun as becoming Spider-Man.
Nobody became Spider-Man. They seized up and barely survived.
Yo,
It was not impressive.
the most fucked up thing is that the reason why he probably didn't tell his mom in the beginning is you remember how the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man happens when he gets bit?
He gets sick.
He gets real sick.
Yeah.
The
He's
kid-
probably like, it's working.
Yeah,
It's fucking working,
The
man.
kid's like, I'm becoming
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
He was calling his friends like, it's happening.
Like, oh, why isn't my vision changing? I just need to take a nap.
Exactly.
Like,
They freaking woke up and was like, all right, man, I can barely breathe. I might have to tell
my
mom about
tongue's
this.
super swollen. My face feels like it's going to
Yeah.
explode.
I don't know. Maybe the doctors can help speed this thing up.
I become Spider-Man faster.
He's probably still asking his mom right now, like, so when can I shoot webs?
Yeah, Mom, I got this bite. You went to took me to the doctors. How come I'm not better yet?
Exactly. I'm normal, Mom. I'm not better.
This is stupid.
This is exactly how I was before the spider bite.
I need to find one that's red with a black belly. But yeah, my last article is just this Oklahoma man survives after he's stabbed in the head with a flagpole at the Sonic Drive-In restaurant.
Ooh. Was it you that stabbed me in the head with a lawn jar?
I didn't stab it as much as I threw it at you, which sounds less bad, but is actually worse because like force of gravity.
If you guys don't know what a lawn chart is, they were the most dangerous toys for children in the 90s.
You don't give it to. They were really left over from the 80s and 70s, I think, and we shouldn't have had them.
They were awful. They were very dangerous toys for children.
It was basically just a steel dart.
That's what it was. And you threw it into the air and tried to stick it into the lawn.
And I threw it into the air and tried to stick it into his head.
I just remember, I don't remember much from like before moving here, but I remember putting my hand up and saying, hold on a second. I remember that. And then I don't even remember it hitting me in the head, but I remember being held in Mom's arms in the garage and just blood leaking down the side of my head.
Dude, they probably should have took you to the hospital.
Bro, they did take me to the hospital.
Dad, I don't remember that.
Yes, they took me to the hospital. I had a hole in my head.
They left me behind. I don't remember.
I had a damn hole in my
I
head.
was in a lot of trouble.
Was Grandma there? My grandma might have been there. Or Aunt Eve.
Oh, if Aunt Eve was there, I was done.
Yeah, you might have had a tough time. Just blocked it out.
Your story is way better than this guy's story.
Well, you're the main protagonist in that, so thanks for that.
Oh, great. I don't remember much besides everyone telling me about it.
Yeah, you stabbed me with a lawn jar.
I threw it in the air. I remember that part.
I said stop.
Yeah, I threw it in the air in your direction.
Anyways, I feel like you remember that part too.
I remember. No, not the stop part. Now that you say that, it's funny because
you're like, I vaguely remember a hand going up.
When I was a little boy, I was just like, sweet.
I was like, oh, I trust my brother. You know? I trust him. Trust a 6-year-old, you know? He's got my best interest in heart.
I was 6.
He's my brother.
I had no one's best interest at heart when I was 6.
Brutal.
I know. It's not nice. But this guy had less nice intent for this other guy. It says the Oklahoma man stabbed another man in the head with the flagpole at Sonic Drive-In on Tuesday in Tulsa.
Too long?
What?
Was he taking too long?
It just said that around 7:30 the guy stabbed him, and they found the guy with the flagpole in his head, under his jaw and out the back near his temple. So, like,
ooh, yeah, no, you don't have to show me. I know where the jaw is,
not
and
showing
I know where
it.
the temple comes out.
Witnesses told the police they saw the suspect, identified as Clinton Collins, who sounds like a fucking super villain, honestly, charged the victim and stabbed him in the head with the flagpole.
That is so brutal.
Witnesses said that they heard Collins say, "That's what he gets. He deserved it." Collins was quickly taken into custody after officers arrived. Firefighters had to cut part of the flagpole to fit the victim in the ambulance. The victim miraculously survived the brutal maiming, but will likely lose the eye.
That guy, so the nerve that you have to stab somebody in the head with something like a flagpole and have it go through and come out the other side. Like, the mental fortitude you need to do that is unbelievable.
Well, after getting charged with that, it said that there's not reporting what, but he had previous felony charges, and then when they went to try to go talk to his attorney, it wasn't clear if he even had one. So it seems like he's done bad shit in the past before.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like the mental capacity you need to stab somebody in the head with a flagpole is impressive. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm just saying, holy shit, how can somebody do that to somebody else?
Right.
And the fact that the guy lived is just like, the other dude needs to thank him because he was about to get murdered and now he's going to get attempted murder. Now this guy's going to get an opportunity to stab somebody else in the head with a flagpole.
Because he called him a bitch or something.
Exactly.
Who knows? It didn't even say.
I'm sure it was some sort of ego thing. That's usually what it is.
Always.
Ego battles.
Man, those are just not fun to get into.
No, man, you can't get into them.
Definitely not as fun as lawn jarting. You know?
Lawn jart battles aren't fun either. What's crazy is you stabbed me in the head with that lawn jart and you broke my collarbone.
The collarbone thing was like not in, like none of those things were intentional, bro. Well,
the lawn jart was kind of intentional.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was going to take a chunk out of your head. I was a 6-year-old kid that like threw plenty of shit at you, probably, but didn't.
Yeah, but that was a very sharp metal.
We both learned a lesson that day. I learned not to throw shit at you. Way. Yeah, I learned not to throw shit at you because it would probably kill you, and you learned that I'm stupid. So
yeah. I learned the hard way that you don't trust Andrew.
No, that's not true at all. You don't trust me when I'm a little 6-year-old.
No, you don't trust any 6-year-old.
Yeah, because they don't know what's happening.
They know what's happening. They just have their best interest in mind. And their laugh could be, if it's your health versus a nice little giggle for them, that's their best interest.
Wait, what?
Like, even though I was going to be injured.
Oh, you're saying
possibly mortally.
You're saying because you were a target because and violence is funny, little bit of and I would get a chuckle. Exactly. And I probably did chuckle.
Yep,
I probably did
that's
immediately.
Probably like.
And then I was probably like,
"That's
oh
your
shit.
best interest." You're like, "Oh, dude, I got what I wanted."
And then I was probably like, "Oh, I think he's gonna like die."
You probably also didn't think that you were gonna launch that thing in the air and actually hit me in the head. You probably thought you were gonna scare me or some shit.
I didn't think that your head
just stick it into my fucking head.
I didn't think that
fucking brain damage for the next fucking.
You didn't get brain damage.
30-something years.
You did that. You're trying to blame that on me. He's trying to like put
to blame that on me. Your lack of emotions are not my fault, bro.
He's trying to put like brain damage on me so that he can be like, listen, he agreed to it. I'm suing him.
Not suing him.
Yeah, please don't sue me.
I waive my rights to sue him. You're 6. Can you even sue a 6-year-old?
Probably. You can do whatever you want.
Dude, I'm going to bait some little rich 6-year-old into fucking attacking me or something, stealing something from me. I don't know. Fucking make tires of candy.
You're just like, hey.
I'll be like, he just pulled my tires apart. I don't know.
And now he owes me. Those tires were like worth like $80,000.
Yeah, you know how much time it took me to build those tires?
That's my job. I build tires. I was going to
sell
tires.
Those.
I was going to sell those candy tires.
Candy tires. Call it candy paint. They're dripping.
I don't know how we got onto candy paint tires, but
I don't know. It's getting late, and whenever it's late, we just kind of
ramble. That's true. It's usually a good time to end whenever we get to random things, I think.
I feel you.
I don't have anything else to say about the Sonic guy that got stabbed. Do you got anything else to add on there?
I am all out of news tonight.
All right. Well, yeah. So then, yeah, we should probably sign off.
I'm hoping you guys do us a little better this week.
What do you mean?
Just 7 viewers. I mean, we just dropped a little bit. We dropped a lot. We're not going to stop because we don't quit.
No, but we went down. We had 10% views this week that we had last week.
Yeah. We got plans for other things in the works, but we're not going to stop this. And if we can get 8, you'll put a smile back on our faces.
Yeah, we're
not asking for much.
No, we just want we would like some positive improvement every week, guys.
Yeah. And hit that subscribe if
Yeah, if you're one of the 7 who are that OG, come on, like we would really appreciate.
If you're the 7,
You hit that subscribe at the end of at the bottom of the Buzzsprout website. You give us that $3. We'll say your name every single time at the end. We'll thank you every single time, and we'll say whatever you want us to, as long as it's not.
Yeah, it's
Put it in our buttholes.
yeah. There's guidelines. I won't say anything.
But
I'll say some weird shit. I'll get weird.
We'll say weird stuff. We will, and especially if we're saying that you want us to say it, which is fine.
There's a couple people I wouldn't say anything for though, so you might need to be anonymous. Can you be anonymous?
I think you can.
You can be anonymous.
And there's 2 hosts, so
if your name's Dan, you can be anonymous.
okay. It's weird. Okay, I don't get it.
So is that the end of the show?
I think so, man. I don't really have anything else to say.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out and listening to another episode of the Weekend Rundown. This has been Daniel.
And yeah, I'm your host, Drew. Come back next week, and we'll have the same kind of antics going on. Thanks for tuning in, and tune in next week. Bye.
Take care, guys.